If you say, what would be the probable gross profit from a single robotaxi? We think probably something on the order of $30,000 per year. And this assumes that 50% of the miles driven are not useful. So this is only at 50% utility.
If you actually believe what Elon Musk just told you, then boy oh boy do you need to watch this video. Since Tesla was founded in 2003, it has undeniably been one of the world's fastest growing companies in terms of both valuation and reputation. But did you know who actually founded it? Not Elon Musk. It was, in fact, two engineers who built the foundations of the company, Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning. Despite the initial work of the pair to get the company off the ground, Musk, with the help of his financial muscle of his family, managed to come out top in a lawsuit that saw him also named as a co-founder. A few years down the line, Eberhard would file a lawsuit against Musk for forcing him out after Tarpenning had already been pushed aside. Whether he achieved it in a fair way or not, the Tesla brand now is undoubtedly synonymous with Elon Musk, the biggest shareholder, owning 16% of the company. But unlike the mainstream media and Tesla's fanboys who refuse to hold Musk accountable to deliver upon his claims after the hype, I can do basic things such as identify a pattern. And when it comes to Elon Musk, the pattern is this. Step 1. Making big promises of great things. Step 2. Tweet about it. Step 3. Watch the press give billions of dollars of free publicity. Step 4. Collect the money up front first from fans. Step 5. Make a big promise of something else greater. Step 6. Repeat step 1. Okay, I'll be fair. At least with Tesla, he did deliver an actual car. So this is one of the rare cases when something is actually produced. But what he promised was this.
Wow.
And what you got delivered was this.
Bruh.
You see, the Tesla he delivered was missing key features they were advertised as having to make you want to buy it in the first place. There is currently a huge gap between the idea and expectations of the company and what it is actually producing. And this causes a massive over-evaluation of the company. When I mean massive over-evaluation, I mean massive over-evaluation. At the end of 2021, Tesla's market cap was worth basically the same as the next 10 automakers combined at nearly $1 trillion. But how much percentage in car deliveries does Tesla account for? Less than 1%. Now, if you don't call that a bubble, then I don't know what is. Musk is currently riding the wave of excitement at the moment, though, becoming the richest person on Earth at the beginning of the 2020s, thanks mainly to his shares in Tesla. And having an enormously inflated evaluation is the least of its problems. The Cyber Road truck was possibly the most eye-catching design that Tesla has released to date. By release, of course, we mean show glimpses of on stage before never showing. You'll be forgiven if you had forgotten that this was something that was meant to exist. It was first brought onto the stage in a classically awkward presentation in 2017, during which Musk promised that anyone who pre-ordered the vehicle would have it by 2019. Last I checked, it's years beyond 2019, and these Cyber Road trucks are still not here. Whilst the company itself has blamed the repeated delays on things such as global supply chains, transportation, and labor, Musk admitted otherwise. Supposedly, the real reason that Cyber Road trucks still aren't available is that the vehicle is nowhere near being affordable. During a Q&A, he said that it's the new technology in the Cybertruck that will take some time to work through. But come on, Elon. If you knew that the can't yet be afforded, nor the technology available to produce it, then why did you lie to everyone to give you money to pre-order it in 2017? Are you going to give refunds now? When Musk initially announced the truck, Tesla said that the truck models would range from $39,900 to $69,900. But now, like magic, all pricing indicators have been removed from the Cybertruck on its website. And what about the products that actually were delivered? The Tesla Model 3 was initially advertised as being extremely affordable, starting at $35,000. But in reality, the cheapest version comes at 33% higher than promised, around $45,000. That's for a worse product than what was promised, too. For example, the standard Model 3 comes with rear-wheel drive. Sure, you can get all-wheel drive for it, but you have to pay extra for it, when it was initially advertised to you as standard. Maybe in rare cases, some blips will prevent a company from delivering on every single aspect of its price or performance promise. What Tesla manages to do, though, is make a vast range of promises and then fail to meet them on both a performance and price level. In the short term, this is a good tactic if all you care about is getting people talking about your company and creating spikes in your stock value. At some point, people will start realizing that the product promises are empty, and you're full of it. But maybe not, because literally, Elon Musk was on stage promising owners of robo-taxis being able to earn over $30,000 a year using it at 50% utility. And people literally just sat there believing that BS and gave him billions of dollars. The company raised $2.3 billion in funding in 2019 by lying to potential investors that they would have 1 million robo-taxis on the road by the end of 2020. Less than 1 year later, Musk started walking back on that promise. Because now, instead of having 1 million robo-taxis on the road, what he actually meant was that there would be 1 million robo-taxi-capable cars by the end of 2020. And the initial robo-taxis that Musk promised were meant to be driverless cars. Well, oops. Now you also need his cars to be driven as taxis by their owners. So, wait. Elon Musk basically admitted that there is literally nothing robotic about his so-called robo-taxis, since it literally requires a human. The changed promise to robo-taxi capable just means that the cars sold will have the technology to run Tesla's robo-taxi software. I mean, if you were an investor and you knew this from the beginning, would you honestly give him your hard-earned cash when Musk effectively sells you an electric car with an Uber app installed, when you were told initially the car would drive itself, so you wouldn't need to be the Uber driver? To make matters even worse, just before Tesla raised the $2.3 billion from the initial false promise, the company paid its bondholders $920 million, meaning it was running rather low on cash. Many analysts at the time pointed this out and stated that his actions constituted obvious securities fraud. And when confronted with the undeniable facts of this, what do Musk fans do? They make excuses for him, claiming that it is only because of Elon's unrestrained optimism for the future that he constantly says things that don't come true in the end. Why the news media and his supporters continue to give him a pass when being consistently lied to baffles me. It's almost impossible to believe that someone as ingrained in the tech world as Musk truly believed in the promises his company was making. The prospectus filed with the SEC for the $2.3 billion fundraising didn't actually mention the words autonomous or robotaxi once. Yet, just a few hours after the prospectus was filed, the investor call that Musk led was focused almost entirely on this manipulative dream. He even went as far as to call the rest of Tesla's business small potatoes in comparison. How can the robo-taxis and autonomous vehicles be so impressive they dwarf the rest of the company, yet not be worthy of mention in the prospectus filed with the SEC? Musk said during the call that the only obstacle before things got over the finish line would be government regulators. This conveniently shifts all potential blame away from the company itself onto the big scary government. Yet we now know, as many people did then, that Tesla is still miles off having the technology for feasible commercial self-driving cars. That's because it's widely agreed by technology experts that driverless cars on such a level are still decades away. Tesla doesn't even lead the way in the field, with Google's Waymo currently holding that title. Yet Tesla claimed they'd have 1 million on the road in 2020 when they needed some extra cash. The company's claims were undeniably false, and most evidence points towards the fact that they were intentional too. It wasn't the first time that Tesla had been acting shadily in front of the SEC either. In 2018, Musk announced on Twitter that he was considering taking Tesla private at $420, funding secure. Just a month later, the SEC accused Musk of making false and misleading statements. The debacle was estimated to end up costing Musk $40 million, and it led him to leaving his role as the company's chairman. The wild swings such tweets have on Tesla's market value meant the infamous 420 tweet pushed Tesla's stock to a 2018 high of $379.57. This turned out to be an artificial inflation, of course, and the relatively tiny punishment the SEC dished out wouldn't have been anticipated by Tesla and Musk. Sums like $20 to $40 million are drops in the pond of their far vaster wealth, and so they know such manipulative and underhanded tricks can be used without any worrying consequences for them. It's unlikely that the government regulatory bodies will start taking significant steps anytime soon to stop Tesla's scamming. Not only is the SEC notoriously lenient with fines for large companies that are often worth less than the gain caused by the fraud, but Tesla seems to get particularly special treatment. They've consistently got generous tax breaks and government loans. That doesn't stop them from preparing the excuse for Tesla's failures to be regulator obstruction, though. Honestly, I find it hard to explain why anyone would keep defending Tesla and Musk and is objectively probably one of the biggest bubbles in the world. There is only so much a large company can wreak havoc with its own stock prices before regulator patience starts running out. Even less patient are consumers and investors. It's amazing how much they've already put up with false promises and manipulative dreams. The minimum expectation for most companies is that they mostly deliver good products at reasonable prices, perhaps with the odd blip here or there. Sometimes companies with huge production numbers get away with a bit more, but Tesla's cars make up a tiny portion of those on the road. They're still a niche market and are consistently getting their niche product very wrong. But the deception becomes even more concerning with the advent of armchair investors, who are more likely to be duped by the media lies and annual product presentations that consistently oversell their goods. Tesla is a company that threatens to hurt normal people even more than usual when the money stops flowing in. If Tesla met its own promises, it would already be one of the most innovative, productive, and game-changing companies. But with Elon Musk in charge, acting the way he does without getting punished for it, I doubt Tesla will change at its core.